Welcome back. It's Fantastic Friday. I'm your host, Jonathan. Got some coffee here. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good holiday season. Cheers. I'm trying to hit my coffee mug on the bar of this mic boom, and I'm trying to make it sound like a toast, but it's not quite working. It just probably sounds like banging on the mic. December 28th, 2018. 3 more days left in this year. Can you believe it? If you're listening to this episode post New Year's Day, welcome. If you're listening on December 28th, welcome. And if you're new to the show, welcome. Fridays are just solo episodes, typically. And then Mondays, we have an interview with a guest, or sometimes we'll have a duo that we interview, whether that's a couple, whether that's business partners. So welcome. This episode, I hope you had an epic Christmas week. Hope you enjoyed Christmas Eve, Christmas, if you celebrate those holidays. I certainly do, and I had a wonderful time with my family. I actually pre-recorded this episode before the week of, so that I would be able to live with the knowledge of these being uploaded and prepared for you to hear before I travel, just to be sure to avoid any kinks or any of that weird stuff that happens when you travel with technology. A lot of times when you travel, the normal ebb and flow of your workflow is interrupted or screwed up. So I'm happy to do that before traveling. So a lot of work the week leading up to Christmas week. I want to talk about biggest struggle with personal branding and self-promoting. If you listen to my episode on lessons I learned from 25 to 27, you'll hear the story about my really bad car accident. I really didn't play this one up. I never posted anything about it on social media. The reason is it was an extremely spiritual experience for me. It was actually a pretty rough time because I lost the car I was using, totaled it, and I almost lost my life, and I very easily could have been badly injured, but I was protected by the grace of God. I'm really grateful for that. But it's led to one of my greatest struggles with personal branding and the self-promotion that is required in order to develop a personal brand. And I don't say any of this to sound self-righteous or like I have no ego or pride, because I definitely deal with that. However, I do say this because it's a real thing. If you've ever had a really close loved one pass away unexpectedly, if you've ever been in a bad car accident, had a near-death experience, then think back to that time, either the same day or just after. Think about the mind state that you were in. The state of mind that I was in after that accident was, the value of life is precious. I need to focus on what matters. I have to live with no regrets. Thinking back to it, honestly, is very humbling and grounds me. The gratitude I have and appreciation for the fact that it wasn't my time yet. Brief story on the accident itself. I was in my car. I was actually going under the speed limit. It was a 3-lane highway. I was in the far right lane. I was merging into the middle lane, and there was, I guess, some water there. And when I merged slowly into that one lane over to the left, my car did a fishtail to the right. So the back of the tail of my car drifted out like I was in Tokyo Drift or whatever. The car drifted, and the tail drifting out to where the car was like 100% teeing the highway. So my headlights were facing the guardrail in the middle at this point. And so the car veered all the way across the 3 lanes of traffic into the guardrail, and it was still going close to 70 miles per hour when I hit the guardrail. So I made a huge smash into the guardrail, but the forward momentum of it carried the tail of my car then into the guardrail as well down the highway, which then bounced my car back out into the moving traffic of the highway while spinning in a 360-degree manner. This was a really crazy accident. As I'm spinning back out into traffic, I look, and literally the front of my car, it's like I was on you ever ride those the teacup rides at the theme parks where you're spinning really fast? It was like I was in one of those teacups, zero control, but I wasn't on a fixed track on a ride. I was in the middle of a highway, and a moving truck comes flying down the highway within feet of the front of my car as I'm spinning. And it was in the middle lane, so I was in the far left lane, and I'm just so grateful to God for protecting me from being hit from anyone in those lanes. This moving truck goes by right in front of my eyes, and right at that moment, I definitely feel that I was told supernaturally that I could have been taken right then, but it wasn't my time. Just a small amount of momentum left after my car stopped spinning. I veered off. I steered the car off of to the side of the road as quickly as possible, which ended up being the middle of the highway, the side of the highway that was like the left lane side of the highway. So I could get off the highway as soon as possible. The car wobbled off. And after that accident, okay, I remember that night, or maybe the next day or week, I don't remember exactly, but I remember logging onto my Instagram and just being infuriated by the vanity that we all exude on there, and literally the posturing and the immaturity and the pride behind posturing on Instagram. It just made my blood boil to a point where I just stopped posting. I didn't care what people thought of me. I said, how foolish. Why do we do this? And if you have experienced a like near-death experience genuinely, then you get the point, because you realize none of that matters. If you were using social media in any capacity for your own personal ego, it really just pops it. It's just like your ego is completely stomped and ground into the dirt with the heel of God. Like you are so humbled to be alive that you look at something like a social media app as just really quite just disgusting. I was so irritated by people after that who would post stuff up about themselves or selfies and said, oh, my hair looks, I'm like, my empathy for people who maybe they had low self-esteem, I don't know what it was. I couldn't stand it. And I had to, from that day on, I haven't been perfect at this. I can't post anymore for myself. I can't. If you go onto my Instagram account for the Heart Healthy Hustle podcast, I literally put one small picture of myself. You can hardly see me. It's a picture when I was at the Facebook sign in California. And every other picture for a while was just like a quote or a picture of something else. And I still I don't like posting pictures of myself, but I've been instructed by professionals and by others that people want to see me and they want to hear me and see my face more. And so I'm like, I don't want to do that. It feels really icky, and it feels prideful, and it feels insincere, and it feels self-promotion, and I don't like that at all. But I've been able to do this by looking at it as a business thing. So if I make a post and it's a professional picture of me that I had paid for to have taken, and then I write a caption for it in business copy format to where I'm writing a post that I believe will resonate with my audience, with you, the listener, but will also encourage more people to listen to the podcast. And I look at it like a business thing as opposed to, hey, here's me, here's what I'm doing today, and doesn't my hair look good, and what a cool picture, and this makes me look good, yay, I can check my likes. Instead of something like that, I do it because I have to, which sounds weird because it's like, well, no, you don't. You're doing this voluntarily. It's like, yes, I am. That's true. But if you know me at all, you know that I don't look at purpose or calling as an option to pursue. I don't really consider it an option. And yeah, I don't have to be on Instagram, but if you know much of anything right now about marketing and social media, everybody, and I mean everybody who is somebody who's going to be a listener of my show, just about, is on Instagram every day, or Facebook, especially Instagram though. And so that's why I'm on there. For it to work, you have to post stuff of yourself. And that's really why I've struggled with personal branding. I don't struggle with it. I don't mean to say I have had a struggle with it or that I do continually struggle with it. But I will say that is why, if you look at my Instagram, you can see picture after picture after picture. Oh, I deleted my personal Instagram account. if you look at the Heart Healthy Hustle Instagram, you can see that there's so few pictures of me for a while, to the point where I was literally thinking as I would analyze my account, man, no one's going to know who I am. They're not going to know what I look like. Is that okay? And I found out that no, it's actually not okay. It's not going to work if they don't connect with you and know what you look like and who you are. So personal branding is hard because you have to be good at self-promotion. It's just a fact. And I wouldn't say you have to be good at self-promotion in an egotistical way. I'd say self-promotion in terms of promoting anything. Promoting your show, promoting your business, marketing. It's the same exact thing. I've been able to detach my ego from my self-promotion posts. Otherwise, I just cringe. And it took me a while to get to where I'm actually still struggling with this. This episode is not like I just started this podcast. I've been doing this for a while. And this is just coming up because I'm working through it. I just talked to one of my marketing consultants yesterday, and he was saying, keep posting pictures of your face. And I was like, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I don't want to do that. Yeah. If you're somebody who's on a social media app and you're using it for any kind of egotistical boost, to stop doing that. I don't know if you are or not, so I'm not judging you. And if you are, more power to you. It's your life. You have to enjoy it. But if you get a near-death experience, it's going to change your perspective, and you're going to realize, why in the heck was I doing that? It's going to poke a hole in your ego. It's going to deflate, and you're going to realize, this is so stupid. Not to mention, no real winner is going to look at your account on social media and be fooled by it. You may fool B players. You're not going to fool A players. There's a couple people close to me in my inner circle. These guys don't post on any social media ever unless they're having a baby or they're getting married or something. They are not on there. Even a guy who was in a community group with me, we hit it off as friends, and we have still not linked as friends on Facebook. Even it's been a year and a half because he's in the military. He got married. He's got all this stuff going on. So he's in grad school. There's all like real winners. They don't posture. They don't talk about it. They just do it. And then you meet them another 3 years later and their life is taken off and you're like, wow, this is awesome. Great to see you. But if you are somebody who is struggling with personal branding and you are online and you are in the social media space for your company, for your brand, whatever it is, maybe you have a podcast. Be okay with it and shift from an ego perspective to a business perspective on your post. And it will actually increase the quality of your post as well because you'll be thinking more about others as opposed to yourself. What I'd recommend is, I hired a photographer. I had hundreds of pictures taken. It doesn't take them long to take a bunch of pictures, and then you could just ask them for all the files. Then you work through those pictures, figure out which ones will work for your brand, use those and upload them periodically. Write a good caption, write something real, vulnerable, helpful, or transparent, maybe not vulnerable. And that's going to be more effective than your motivational quotes. People want to connect with me, I get that, and I want to connect with them. The best way to facilitate that is to post real content of the real me. And that's hard to do, but it's important. So if I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, I have to do that. Anyway, it's not that serious. You can tell in my voice that I get really kind of worked up when I talk about this, because our society and culture has become so overridden with the crap most stank, if you will, of social media. Again, that's the phrase crap most stank. If anybody of you, yeah, that's by YouTuber Ed Bassmaster. He's actually from Philly as well. I think it's pretty funny. His videos are hilarious if you haven't seen them. Yeah, so don't post crap most stank. Just post real stuff if you're going to post anything at all, and your personal brand will do better. If it's a particularly hard season for you or your family due to a loss of a loved one or a friend, my condolences go out to you, and my thoughts and prayers as well. I hope that this episode, along with the other ones, can give you a moment of encouragement if you are going through a hard time this holiday season. And if you're going through a great time, I celebrate with you. I'm excited to celebrate the wins. I think it's going to be a special New Year's episode, just a bonus one that I might post in the Facebook group in particular, of celebrating the wins that I've personally had this year and talking more in detail about things I've done to side hustle and ways I've made money and ways I've forged friendships and partnership, and very tactical really celebrating the nitty-gritty as well, the daily 1% things. I'm by no means perfect at this, but I have made a lot of progress this past year. The main reason is because when people like you express, hey, that episode really encouraged me today. This is the thing. When somebody expresses verbal appreciation to you or something you did or said, you didn't realize how much impact it would have. The thing is, people don't do that anymore. So when somebody does take the time to actually, especially unsolicited, reach out to me or says something to me on a text like, hey, I haven't heard from you in a while, but I heard this episode. Keep going with this show. I really appreciated what the guest had to say in episode whatever. That kind of stuff is huge. That's everything. And that's really my fuel as well. It's my part of my why. I only want to focus on getting this show better and better and better and making it the best for what I'm trying to do. Again, I am excited. I really do enjoy it. I love the process because here's the thing. Every interview, every episode, every Fantastic Friday episode is essentially a journal entry for me. It's not as intimate, but it is like a journal entry for me where I can decompress a little bit about what an idea that comes across my mind or a thought I may have. With New Year's Eve coming up around the corner, that's Monday, this December 31st, 3 days away from today. It's just another day. Try not to look at the holidays as any type of special thing. If it does help you to make a shift or decision, in other words, in your life that will prove helpful to you, then I would encourage you to look at it as a date of significance. And that's partially why I do enjoy holidays so much. It is because of the fact that it's like a speed bump in the road of life. It forces you to kind of slow down, or else you can jack up your suspension by not actually taking time to reflect. In conclusion of today's episode, I thank you so much for listening and keep enjoying the holiday season. Milk the holidays for what it's worth. Now that Christmas has passed, don't let it end. If you are a huge fanatic of Christmas music, if you love the lights, if you love the tree, I encourage you to let it stay up an extra week, maybe even a month. There's some people who have like a beautiful Christmas tree, a beautiful setup, and just because the day is over, they dump everything, and their tree is still like, it's got months left to live. But yeah, if you really enjoy those decorations and things and it makes you feel festive and joyful, just leave them up. It's no big deal. Just enjoy it. Enjoy your life. Yeah, so I'll see you New Year's Eve. Be safe and keep it healthy this weekend. Enjoy yourself. Have fun. Stay safe and enjoy the life. And I will also say, if you're somebody who downloads these episodes the day they come out, you're going to be interested in the Heart Healthy Hustle podcast community. You can find it at thehearthealthyhustle.com/Facebook. That's thehearthealthyhustle.com/Facebook. When you go to that website, you will be taken to the Facebook community group page. Why you would want to join? Do you ever log into Facebook anymore? I log in it probably multiple times a day, and I don't even really like Facebook anymore. I mean, you get my point. We all have Facebook. We all go on occasionally. This will make your experience on Facebook much more fruitful, productive, and enjoyable because it's really just showing you content that you'd be more interested in seeing. So if you're interested in that group, again, that's found at thehearthealthyhustle.com/Facebook. It's a good time. So jump on over to there. Enjoy your weekend. Crush it. I will see you on Monday with an interview episode of the Heart Healthy Hustle. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. Holidays are here and wrapping up. It's just an exciting time to recalibrate for the new year. And I hope you have an awesome, awesome Saturday and Sunday. Godspeed. Fearless.